Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Tuesdays with Tim Camp. The Eastern Oregon football team is coming off a bye week after a close battle with Montana Tech 2 weeks ago, resulting in a 24-17 loss. Mountaineers are returning home this week against Montana Western. And so, Coach, looking back on the game against Montana Tech, it was one of the wildest games as far as turnovers go. What happened there that led to all of the turnovers on both sides, and what do you guys need to do to clean things up?
Well, thanks for calling and giving me an opportunity here and talking about Eastern Oregon football. The Montana Tech game, we had a chance to open that thing wide open early on. Many times. We had a lead. The kids were playing hard. They were ready to play. And unfortunately, there in the third quarter, once our quarterback went down, we turned the ball over 3 times in 4 plays. Those are things that you can't do. I'd rather punt the ball on first down and let our defense go out there. I thought our defense played really, really well all night long. I think the longest touchdown drive they had was 23 yards. And, not to take anything away from Montana Tech because they're a very well, top 25 team. But at the same time, you cannot make mistakes like that. We can't make mistakes like that if we expect to win football games. And I think that was the big thing going away. You turn the ball over, good things can't happen for you because you don't have the football. And those are the things that we've been working all week on, just trying to clean them up. The third quarter has been a real big issue for us this year so far in the last 2 games. And those are things that we've identified. And obviously those are things that we're going to try and get corrected and get out there and, play 4 quarters. That's the biggest thing. We got to play 4 quarters of Eastern Oregon football. And if we're able to do that, and again, punting the ball is a good play in football. Turning the ball over is obviously not. So we're really focused on playing 4 quarters of football, and if we do that, we're going to be just fine.
Well, the defense was steady all game. They really have been all 3 weeks of this season. They limited Montana Tech to 280 yards while forcing 5 turnovers in that game. How have they been able to play so well together through the early part of the season?
Well, I think it all starts up front. I mean, we're getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback without having to pressure, without having to blitz. And, we got some good secondary guys, and our linebackers are playing well. And when we tackle well, we're going to be in the dog. We're going to be in the fight, and those are the things that we've been able to do, especially against Montana Tech. I think that was a huge deal for us, is to go out there and play with them. And we knew the matchup was going to be favorable for us. But at the same time, I think the defense played really, really well. Offense played decent, but not up to our standards, and I think those are the things that we got to continue to work on. And there's a lot of offensive yards left out on the field. We just got to be able to take advantage of those things. But super proud of the defense and their efforts. But at the same time, you have 4 phases in the football game. That's offense, defense, special teams, and then the sideline. And I thought our sideline was awesome up in Butte.
So Kai Quinn left the game against Tech with a lower body injury. What do you guys need to do just to prepare the quarterback position, no matter who is under center this week?
Right. I think the biggest deal is be ready when your number's called. It doesn't matter if Kai is starting or if you got 2 other kids that got in the rotation. When your number's called, you got to be able to run the offense. And I think those are the things I think we learned from this last week, and those are things that we've been working on during the bye week. You just never know when your number's going to be called, and it's what I talked to the team about tonight. Yeah, you got to be a factor. You got to be a guy that, and especially at the quarterback position. All I needed in that game was just manage the game. I don't need any big plays. All I need is you to manage our offense and be able to go out there and do those things. And unfortunately, that didn't happen against Montana Tech. So not to dwell on the past, we're moving forwards, and we'll have 3 quarterbacks ready to play that game and against Montana Western. And exactly what I said. Hey, I need the quarterback to manage the game. I don't need heroics. I just need somebody to step in there and run our offense, and they're all 3 capable of doing so.
Well, you mentioned the bye week. How does having an early bye week help you guys stay fresh for the rest of the season?
Well, it got us to a point where we were getting healthy again, and I think that was the number one thing. But at the same time, you can't stop. We got to continue to go out and play football. I think that it's one of two ways: you either go out there and go to work, or you go through the bye week and you try and get through it. And we went to work. That was the one thing. We practiced 5 straight days, and 3 of those days were full padded, and we got a lot of special teams work in, and with the special forces, and then we also got a chance to play offense, defense, and I took probably about 20 minutes a day to evaluate the golds and the whites, the future guys in this program. So it was an opportunity to get healthy, but at the same time we could focus on going to work and keeping our conditioning levels up and making sure that again it wasn't a bye week where we just took it off. We're going to try and get better, and that's the focus. Being in a position where you're 1-2. You better practice like you want to be, 2-2 coming out of this thing. And I think that they did that. I think that, you obviously practiced a little bit differently if you're 3-0, trying to get healthy and giving other kids opportunities. But at the same time, the Blues took just as many reps as the Golds, and the Golds took just as many reps as the Whites. So I feel really, really strong about how we ended the bye week, looking at Montana Western coming up.
Yeah, so Montana Western, you'll be hosting them this Saturday at 1 p.m. What are some of the strengths of their team? And, they're 3-0, just coming off a big win against Rocky Mountain. What do you need to do to counter them and come away with a victory here on Saturday at home?
Well, I know that Coach Norris will have these guys ready to go, and obviously they were picked low in the conference, and I think that they were offended by that, which they should have been, just like Eastern Oregon. I think you've got 2 very good football teams going out there. Their record indicates that they're better than us right now, but at the end of the day, they've done a really good job of being able to take care of the football. They've done a really good job of being able to get people off the field on third downs, and I think I credit that to obviously being well coached, but at the same time, once you start having some success, all of a sudden now that continues to build. So, credit them. But for what we need to do, we need to play our game. We need to go out there and we need to tackle. We need to block. We need to do the things that we're coached to do each and every day. And again, we need to match their intensity. We need to continue to carry the fight to them, and kind of be the bullies of the play yard. Those are the things that we need to do within 6 seconds of a play, and to continue to take it to them without waiting and seeing around. Once you're up by 10, we've been up by 10 in week 2. We were up by, a big lead in week 3. And then all of a sudden it just kind of stopped. And then we wanted to play football again. Again, it's going to take 4 quarters to beat Montana Western, another top 25 school coming in this Frontier Conference. And again, it doesn't get any easier, but at the same time, we are so very, very close to breaking these games wide open. It's just that we need to do a better job when the opportunity arises for us. And we it's all gas, no brakes, and those are the things that we got to continue to work on. And there's going to be ups and downs in college football. We got to be able to, hey, that was a very good play, get to the next play. Hey, that wasn't the best play ever. Hey, get to the next play. That's why there's 70, 80, 90 snaps in the course of a football game, is for you to get to the next play and to be able to finish out the 60 minutes the way that you started.
Well, Coach, thanks very much for joining us this week, and got a big game coming up this Saturday at 1 p.m. against Montana Western here at Community Stadium in LeGrand. Coach, good luck.
Absolutely. I appreciate you thinking about Eastern. Talk to you soon.